It is now my pleasure to introduce our first graduate speaker for the evening, J.D. Anderson. J.D. is an artist manager for the band Triple Stitch, based in the Twin Cities, is a professional musician playing lead guitar and singing backup vocals, as well as a freelance, fully designed sound effects producer for radio and TV ads. He regularly consults with music industry professionals, as well as recording artists from around the Minneapolis area, and is currently negotiating a recording contract for the band that he manages. Prior to living in Minneapolis, J.D. played in the Nashville, Tennessee-based, nationally touring Christian rock alternative band Over Ashes. Born and raised in Bozeman, Montana, J.D. spent time developing his musical abilities, which has led him on numerous adventures across the country, playing to crowds of 3,000 plus, fans in 2 nationally touring bands, one of which has sold 30,000 albums to date. This next year, he will continue his career as an artist manager and plans to pursue being a full-time musician, and is currently seeking a lead guitar position in a band. J.D. is graduating tonight with an Associate's in Applied Science and Music Business. Since being enrolled in college, J.D. has received recognition for his academics by receiving highest honors and Dean's List. In addition to J.D.'s coursework, he has continued his career as a professional musician, writing, recording, and producing several projects, as well as developing the artists he currently manages. J.D. lives in the Minneapolis area on Medicine Lake with his wife Pamela, and when he's not working or going to school, J.D. enjoys long walks on the beach and getting caught in the rain. Please help me in welcoming J.D.
Fellow graduates, friends, family, professors, distinguished guests, I want to talk to you tonight about passion and purpose. I have a question that I would like to begin with. This is from Dr. Howard Hendricks, distinguished professor at Dallas Theological Seminary. He asks, what makes you pound the table? Another way of saying this is, what do you lose sleep thinking about? What raises your blood pressure? What stirs your soul? These questions address the same issue. What is your passion? Since my adolescence, I have seen people do all sorts of jobs: banking, construction, sales, mechanics. But I've seen very few that have real passion and vision. I'd like to tell you about my friend Alex. I was born and raised in Montana, and when I finished school, I attended Montana State University. There I met Alex. We worked together on a summer paint crew and helped out with Chi Alpha Christian Fellowship together and became really good friends. Towards the end of Alex's degree, he started wondering what he was going to do with his life. He was finishing a business management degree, but knew he didn't want to do the typical American dream of work 9 to 5, 5 days a week for the rest of his life. One day, about a month before he was to graduate, he heard a guest speaker on campus talk about the organization that he started that fights human trafficking in India and helps rescue countless lives that have been destroyed and damaged by it. Alex knew right away this is what he was supposed to do, help fight this evil. Being newly married and without a guaranteed paid position, 2 months after graduation, he and his wife moved to Oregon to join this organization and help with the fight against human trafficking. Alex is one of the most passionate people I know. He makes hardly any money, but you would be hard-pressed to find someone who is happier and finds more fulfillment in their job. Let me tell you about another friend of mine. James was in his mid-20s, worked a good-paying job, owned a house, and hung out with his friends as much as he could. It's a typical 20-something life. One day, James found something that stirred his soul. He decided to start a band, not just a band for fun, but a band to help encourage and be a positive role model to troubled teens. James decided to sell his house. He went to Guitar Center and dropped who knows how many thousands of dollars on guitar equipment and band equipment to get this band going. 6 years later, he is now the lead singer of a successful, nationally touring punk rock and roll band that has been able to inspire thousands of kids across the country. Now, what you do with your life is a difficult decision to make. Maybe you've just finished your degree in nursing, massage therapy, or like myself, music business. But more important than the degree is what you do with it. A degree without passion is just a degree. But a degree, coupled with the passion that makes you pound the table, is what makes life worth living. When at a party, the first thing a stranger asks us is, "What do you do for a living?" We want to impress people with our occupation, and perhaps that's why so many of us work at jobs that are not fulfilling. But more important than what you do for a living is what you do for life. It may sound more impressive to say that you're a CEO of a company rather than a struggling musician. However, is sacrificing your passion for the sake of a position worth it? Or does it really matter what other people think? As graduates, there's a lot of things for us to consider as we look ahead. Our education has equipped us to move forward in life, and we need to ask ourselves, how much money do I want to make? How big a house do I want to live in? But more importantly, we need to ask ourselves, what makes me pound the table? Combining our academic accomplishments with passionate pursuit is what makes life meaningful and fulfilling. In closing, I want to leave you with this thought. If you are pursuing something that makes you pound the table, that makes tears well up in your eyes, that stirs your soul, you will find it satisfying. And trust me, you will never regret it, no matter how small the paycheck.